me is Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Chris, who do we have with us today?
We have Kenneth Gallant. I never knew how to pronounce your
Yeah,
last name because I've only
it's
seen it in
Gallant.
writing.
Yeah, you got it right.
So, mentioning pronouncing names, how would you pronounce our subject matter's name? Because I've heard it could be pronounced a couple of ways.
Really? What have you heard?
I thought it was. I've heard someone say Gary, and most of the times I've heard it as Jerry.
I hear Jerry is what I've heard.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I.
heard
Yeah.
Gerry as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Chris, who are we talking about?
Talking about Gerry Conway, who recently passed away, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was
And
what, 72 years old?
I think so, yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he
And I
died of
feel like he's one of those creators that everybody, like, there's not a human being that doesn't know one of his characters, but very few people probably actually know him,
But all of us grew up reading his books. I mean, I grew up
for
reading his
sure.
Spider-Man's, his Firestorm books, his Justice League books. So his name was a name I've seen in a lot of comics when I was growing up.
yeah. And in TV too. That's where he's also well known.
Yes, that's we were talking about this yesterday at Free Comic Book Day, and some other people said they were watching some show and realized that, hey, Gerry Conway, wonder if that's the comic guy.
Yep. It is. It is.
That's crazy.
Because
Well,
the
he had
name,
a long career in TV though. Like a long, long career.
and especially spelling his name that way in Conway,
Mm-hmm.
you assume it's the same guy because there could be
Hmm.
coincidence that it could be two different people, but most likely a writer, and especially from comics, a lot of those writers from the 70s went on to do TV shows.
Yeah. Which he did. And movies. He also did a little bit of movie work as well, screenplay writing.
Yes.
Well, that
So
makes sense.
so let me ask both of you, what's one of the earliest comic book or comic book character you remember with Conway's name on it?
Well, Punisher for me would be the one I remembered growing up
Yeah.
because I was a Marvel reader growing up. So for
Yeah,
me, yeah, Punisher would be the one that I would first identify him with.
yes.
Yeah. He did Justice League too for a while, right?
He did. He
Yep,
did. Yeah.
he did
Yeah, I think
Justice
that
League.
might
Yeah,
have. I think I might have recognized the name sort of with the Justice League stuff. His early Punisher stuff, I was a bit young, I guess maybe, so I wasn't really looking
yeah,
at names as much.
Yeah, Justice
But
League would be the first time I remember seeing his name, and also
yeah,
Spider-Man also.
yeah, because he created the Jackal. Don't forget,
Yes, the
and the
yeah,
Ben
Jackal,
Riley
yes.
and the Ben Riley clone. He created that too in his run
And
on
he did the
TV.
famous Gwen Stacy story also.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
death
that's
of
true.
yeah.
I was kind of shocked to see that I didn't know he created Man Thing.
Oh
Really?
yeah, he was a co-creator on Man Thing.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Okay, that's
Yeah,
okay, learning something new today.
he was
yeah,
a
yeah. It was
co-creator.
kind of surprising that Man Thing was when I was looking. I recently looked up a list of all of the characters he created. I was like, Man Thing. I was like, really? Like, wow.
Yeah. Well, he worked on a lot of books that even at Marvel, like he did Legion of Monsters, which I totally love that book. I had the issue. So he's writing characters like Ghost Rider, Man Thing,
Yes.
Mobius, and Werewolf by Night. So he's got
Yeah.
a very diverse resume.
And he was the guy who brought Dracula into the sort of Marvel universe. He
Yes.
was the one sort of responsible for that. So,
Yeah,
I
that's
know he
right.
didn't create Dracula necessarily, but the
But the
Marvel
Marvel
version of
version
Dracula,
of Dracula, though, right?
Marvel, yeah.
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
again surprising.
Really, you find that surprising?
Um, I mean, it's funny when you look at his stuff like Firestorm and his Justice League writing. I mean, he
Hmm.
obviously had a diverse skill. So it's like
Hmm.
the whole Man Thing, Dracula. It's sort of like wow, and he could write that too.
Yes.
So I think
Well,
that's the surprising
sure.
part is his diversity in writing because a
Well,
lot
his
of writers
Marvel
have.
res I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chris. His Marvel resume is basically a lot of, he didn't do a lot of major runs with the exception of Spider-Man. So he did a lot of, issues here, issue there. It wasn't until DC when you started doing more episodic writing.
And DC, I think he stayed on books longer than he did on Marvel.
He did, yeah, yeah, that's a fact. But you know what? One thing he did at Marvel that I wanted to point out to you guys, I loved reading New Universe when those books came out. He did the first 6 issues of Spitfire and the Troubleshooters. I love that book. That
Oh,
was
I didn't
great.
know. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he did the first 6 issues
Oh,
and then they took him off the book, which was stupid. But anyways,
oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow.
I think that was one of the books I think out of the New Universe books, I think the only one I think I bought first issue of Starbrand, and that was it.
Oh, Starbrand, yeah, because of John Byrne. Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that was the only book I bought. The other ones, yeah, I didn't know Conway was on. I don't remember his name on it. No.
Yeah, yeah, I did the first 6 issues, and then they replaced him with like a kind of a B writer, which is stupid, but
Yeah.
it happens.
So I saw that he created Jason Todd.
Yes,
So
he did.
was he responsible for sort of like the end, what happened to Jason Todd, or was he just there at the beginning and then left?
No, that
The
was Jim
beginning,
Starlin. That was
yeah,
Jim
the
Starlin,
beginning,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
he also created Killer Croc. Keep that in mind too.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember his run on Batman. I don't remember him writing Batman.
You know who's a good person to talk to, Chetan, is Glenn, because Glenn and I talk about Batman all the time because that's
Yes.
Conway's his favorite writer on Batman.
Okay, I don't remember. You know what? Batman. Trying to remember who was the writers at that time.
That time,
Sorry.
Conway was one of them at that
Yeah,
time.
I don't remember Conway on Batman. That's the funny part.
Sure, if you look at it, he did like 300 and up, so like
Oh,
305 to
okay.
306, 337 to
So that's
347.
where what Chris was mentioning when Jason
Yeah,
Todd and all that stuff was in.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
where it all kind of started.
yeah.
Yeah. I would probably say of all of his characters, probably the one people don't like is Jason Todd.
True. Well, they killed him off, right?
Yeah,
Dial in the phone, survive or
yeah.
die.
And Firestone was one of the earliest books I remember his name on also because that was one of the
Yeah.
books, starting with the first issue and stuff, and what was it? Was it a mini series he did first, then the full
He did the
size?
miniseries first.
That's it.
Yes.
Yes. Then he did the regular series. And I
You know what
remember,
also did at DC, Chetan? He
yeah.
did the Hercules Unbound. You remember that series with Lopez on art?
Oh, yes, he did. Yes.
He did the first six
Wow, that is
issues
so
of that.
diverse.
Yeah,
Yes.
very diverse.
Okay.
Very diverse.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And I mean, I guess the most popular and well-known character he created was Punisher.
Punisher, yes.
Yeah.
You know,
And mentioning that, wasn't he? I think Ken, you and I talked about this years ago. Wasn't he in the big movement during the walk movement where they wanted to change the logo of the Punisher and stuff, and he
Yep.
stood
Well, he
by.
was again. I think he was for it at the start or something, if I remember correctly.
But then, yeah, it wasn't a lot of people started hating him for a while for because of some of his decisions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's like Larry Hama. Don't forget Larry Hama. Same thing. He was against the whole kind of thing because he created Danny Rand, and then after a while he was like, "Well, Danny Rand can't. It's like appropriation for like being an Asian." So there's all kinds of messed up stuff like that going on for a while.
Yeah, yeah. But the
it's
Punisher,
always weird when you want to redesign a character, though. It's always hard because you're never
Yeah,
sure. It's like it's different, so people don't, it's different than they remember, and it's like it's kind of a silly thing, but it's also I understand because people have a passion about a character, so they want to keep it the same. So
well, I read that blasphemy, I guess blasphemous Aaron Jason Aaron run on the Punisher where he basically they put that stupid demon logo on him and he became part of the hands and then they basically it was like character assassination. So in this whole thing, they made him believe that his wife never loved him and that he was a killer from day one, like as a kid. So they really just wrecked up the character for a long time
uh,
after that.
I
oh,
always find that Punisher's a hard character to write for
Mm-hmm.
because he's his story is very interesting, but to keep it going, like because it's like he makes a great topic for a movie, but if you try and keep it going, eventually you're sort of like, how much revenge does this guy have? It's like
Yeah.
eventually he's got to be tired.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
For
it's,
sure.
I could see why they might go a completely different direction because they'd sort of be like, I mean, how many times can we do the same story over and over again? And,
Well, that's
there's
like
been
that.
some great writers on Punisher, and then there's been some really bad ones.
Yes, yes.
I'd say
Yeah.
mostly good though.
But you know what? I'm with Chris where
Mhm.
I used to read Punisher when even a regular series started with Klaus Janson drawing it and like
Mike Barron was
Mike
right.
Byrne writing it and even Punisher War Journal. But even
Mhm.
after that, it's just like how much more, you know, he's a one-dimensional character, I find. It just I don't know. I just I think I bought it more for the artwork than the story.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I own the whole run. I have the whole Mike Barron run. It's pretty good.
I just find that when you have to, like, particularly when you start teaming him up with certain characters, it's kind of like, okay, it's hard. He's a hard fit to put with the entire Marvel universe.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so sometimes it's a bit of a challenging character again, because he's sort of kind of one-sided in that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because one side is actually a really interesting story,
Hmm.
but it's just sort of to stretch that taffy is not as easy with that character where you get somebody like Spider-Man, where you can take him to all these different places, and Iron Man, where you can build new technology, and Doctor Strange, where you can go to different universes. It's like Frank Castle was like, okay, my kid and wife got killed. I want revenge. And the good stories tend to be like they're trying to looking into crime, and he's sort of realizing that the crime world is bad and that it's bigger than he thought it was, and things like that. Like those are really cool stories. But if you start to get to things like, if you brought him into, like, they didn't do it in the Marvel movies, but if they brought him into Thanos, it'd be like, what?
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't
No, it
work. Yeah.
wouldn't work. So here's a question. Going back to Gerry Conway, did he ever come back to write Punisher? Like,
No, no, he did not.
I don't remember seeing his name associated. Even Spider-Man, I don't think he came back to write Spider-Man, did he?
No, the only later he came back to do later DC stuff in the 2000s.
Yeah, I do remember seeing his name on DC books, but I don't recall him even like his iconic characters like Punisher. I don't
No, he
remember
never.
seeing
He left Punisher like behind.
Did he do the 2099?
No, no, I don't think he did. I forget who did that, but it wasn't him.
Okay. Because I
that
know
was
some of the old writers kind of came back to when that series came out to kind of
yeah,
really
that was drawn by
bring back
John
the
Romita,
characters.
wasn't it? John Romita Jr., I think.
I think he did a couple issues. I don't think he did a lot of it.
Oh, okay.
I think he helped out a little bit as far as
Yeah.
I.
Yeah, that's kind of. I saw 2000 Punisher 2099 in the credits of characters you created, but that could just be because it's an offshoot of the same characters. So it.
Or maybe
It's
he.
not well. It's not great. Like the Tom Lyle was the artist on those books. The art's.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys are Tom Lyle
Yeah, I
fans.
remember him. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Average.
Got the job done, but nothing that I would specifically
Yeah,
hunt out a book for or anything like that.
yeah, yeah. You probably wouldn't. I'm sure, Chris, you probably wouldn't.
That's kind of interesting that Marvel. I mean, I know companies want to move on with writers and artists, but
Mhm.
with going back to the old I want to say vintage writers and artists. Kind of surprised that Marvel didn't say to Conway before he died, saying, "Hey, want to do a Punisher graphic novel or a mini series or something?" Like let's say Gerry Conway writing it and Mike Zeck drawing it. I mean, just that would be a great team up.
It would, but Marvel really doesn't like to bring back their past writers. I mean, you've seen Simonson on a few things over the last few years, and I know Chris Claremont has been writing the odd X-Men book here or there, but they don't like to bring these people back. They
Yeah.
really don't.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, your
DC has a
Walter
much better
White.
history of that. They even brought Siegel back for a while doing Justice
Yes.
League, like in the later
Yeah.
parts. So they really tend to like bring back their old writers and see what they can do to it. So.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I'm kind of curious that he didn't do any. And I know this sounds kind of silly, but it would be interesting to see what he would have done with Image, like with his own idea.
Yeah, it could have been cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you're right.
It could have
You
been
know,
cool if he did something.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that. Although it's funny when you see he's very good at writing characters that the they start as the number twos or the villain and then turn into their own thing. Like he has a really good skill of like bringing a character into Spider-Man and then making that character almost
But,
better than
but
Spider-Man.
I
Well, not better than Spider-Man,
but I
you
hate
know,
to say this, and I am trying. I'll be honest. Gerry Conway wasn't one of those writers that you went looking for his work. You know,
True,
he
true.
I don't want to say he was a hack writer, but he was a company writer that was, doing basic comic writing. I mean, he wasn't one of those guys that, you know, let's say Alan Moore or, you know, uh, Mark Wade or, you know, someone like
So
that.
what you're saying is he didn't have that one signature book that would you remember him was what you're saying,
No, no,
right?
no, no, no. I mean, you didn't go seeking out his work where,
Hmm.
hey, Gerry Conway's gonna, I wonder what Gerry Conway's writing this time,
Hmm.
For me, I'll give you an example. For me, I look out for, anything by Grant Morrison, I'll go and find it, He's a writer and I love his writing. I'll go seek it out. I just find, someone like, Gerry Conway, Roy Thomas, those guys were just regular comic. I mean, no insult to them. I mean, they were good writing. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, but they were just regular comic writers. I mean, regular writers.
I think the one
Oh,
thing
but
Gerry Conway had that maybe the other writers didn't have is he understood the idea that your villain has to be just as good as your hero. Again, to the
Yeah.
point where some of his villains became
Yeah.
primary characters, and even his secondary characters. Like he understood. Like there's a Disney put out a book a while back called Villains, where they talked about if you don't have a good villain in your Disney movie, there's no point in watching the movie at all. Like no
Yeah.
matter how good, cool your main character is, if your villain isn't smart, well written, have like a good backstory, everything like that, then it's a lame.
Well, what
It's,
Ken mentioned is one of the villains, and growing up, I read, was interesting to me was the Jackal, in
yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah,
I
he's a
mean,
good
that was
character.
yeah,
he made that character very good and very interesting.
Yeah, I
and
would
like
agree with
I
that.
was saying about Punisher, I know I said it was kind of one sided, but
Mhm.
on the other hand, he was such like that idea was so good
Yes.
like that it was you wanted to know more if you just read the Spider-Man run, like the early Punisher one. The idea that he kept on with the series is fine. I don't know, like as I've seen Punisher more recently, I'm not as into it as I was back in the day. Like I just don't think it's a character that's lasted, and even the movies is basically just the old Punisher again. It's not
Yeah, but
really.
if he this upcoming Spider-Man movie, he's going to be in it, but he's not going to be killing anyone. He's going to have like this no kill rule with the character, so it's going to be kind of stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
So like when Daredevil, I don't know if you guys are watching Daredevil season 2, but when
Mhm.
it ends, it dovetails into this Punisher one shot movie or TV special, and he's gonna basically it's called One Last Kill, and supposedly he's no longer going to be killing at the end of it, so he's
oh.
going to be neutered in some ways. That's what the
Now I
rumor.
wonder if what the Punisher movie. I mean, I don't remember in the Daredevil or the Punisher TV series. I
Mm.
don't remember if Conway get credited for that, like creating it.
I think there was something he didn't, and that's why he was going on a tirade in later years with Marvel. I think it had something to do with that.
Okay, because I
Mhm.
wonder in the movie, especially now coming out in the summer, if he
Hmm.
doesn't get credit, that's gonna be like a lot of people are gonna say, you know what, he should get credit at least on a big screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean,
that's
we
one
could
of
go on
his
and on
biggest
and do an
characters.
entire we could do an entire episode about the fact that all these movies are based on these comic book franchises and like not giving
Yes.
them credit is ridiculous.
That's
But
true. You're right.
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember seeing his name. I don't remember seeing his name on credits because usually sometimes I'll look just to see who they credit for, like I know on Daredevil they mentioned
Bendis, for
Dave
one.
Bendis and all those guys, for, Bill Everett. It was it Bill Everett they mentioned also? Trying to see
They might have. I don't remember.
something. They mentioned a couple of comic creators, but I don't remember seeing Conway's name on it.
hmm,
Now, maybe the Thomas Jane movie, I think he got a credit on that one. I'm
Oh, did
pretty sure.
he?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Although, I mean, it could be too. He was a bit of a staff writer. I mean, his
Mhm.
contract wise, he was a staff writer. He wasn't one of the superstars that came in with an elaborate contract. So it could be simply that his contract
Yeah.
was like, no.
And that's what I meant to say earlier. You staff writer. That's what where he wrote all kinds of things, but he was just the you know on the regular payroll.
Well, he brought in episodic kind of writing. That's the one thing that he's noted for DC because they didn't really do episodic writing before he came over. He got that from Stan because Stan Lee was into the whole this new
Yes.
comics was like it's episodic and it's so he brought that to DC Comics. That much
Mm.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you think about like his time when he got onto DC, it changed a lot. So I
Right.
also imagine he had a bit of input in behind the scenes as well, like editorially, possibly, and sort of his it inspired it. Because when you do look at like the time that he went there, it's sort of like DC was kind of on a bit of a downturn
Mhm.
it
when he
was,
went
yeah,
there.
at that time, yeah.
And so I think he might I don't know. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but
I think
it feels like the timing is right that he might have
I
influenced a bit
recall,
of the upturn.
if I recall, the Justice Leagues he wrote was when I think George Perez was drawing them, if I recall that.
At that time, yeah, you're probably right,
Yeah, I
Chetan.
think
Yeah, you're probably
George
right.
Perez was drawing them, and Firestorm. It was what's his name? Pat Broad.
Raphael, yeah, and then
And
Raphael
Raphael.
Keenan later
Yeah, that's it. Yes, those two
came
guys.
on
Yes,
after. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Good art, really good art.
And I think on Firestorm he stayed till the very end, didn't he?
No, he actually he didn't. He actually left and came back because they had John Ostrander
Oh,
came on
John
to finish
Ostrander.
the run.
Yes, yes, yes. He
Yeah,
wrote. Yes,
Ostrander finished the run.
yes. He wrote it for a while. Yes, I do
Yeah,
remember that. Yes, when they brought in some new characters and changed over some of the characters and stuff.
yeah,
And I think that's when and I remember the reason I remember about it is that's when Gil Kane started doing the covers.
right, right. That's true.
I used to
I
buy.
still say Firestorm is the greatest character to draw and most interesting character to
You like,
visually.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
Right. I actually,
But
I had the DC figure for Firestorm. I love this figure.
yeah. I have mine back there.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's an awesome figure.
Oh
I
no,
think I have the superpowers figure of it, like from the
Oh
80s.
yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I remember those too.
think I have
when I
that one.
was at the comic shop yesterday, I saw a new Firestorm book.
Yeah,
Mm.
I just finished reading the first issue.
Who's writing it?
Hang on, I'll show you here. I have it here. It's this here. It's Jeff Lemire who's writing the book.
Oh, okay.
This is issue one. It just came out a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and it's actually really good. So they're kind of sort of like going back to the original origin of the character, and they're sort of updating it a little bit. So it's good. The first issue is actually really good. I really liked it.
Oh, that's
I'll
good.
check it
Okay.
out. I'm
Yeah,
willing to give it a chance.
Now
if
here's
you like
a,
Jeff Lemire, I don't know if you guys are like Jeff Lemire fans. I think he's okay, but
now here's a question. In the book, does it credit Broderick and Conway for creating the character? Oh no, Al
uh,
Milgrom. Sorry, Al Milgrom did the original.
don't
Sorry, Al
recall.
Milgrom. It was Conway and Al Milgrom who created the character.
Yeah, I don't think it mentions it in this actually. Not that I know of.
Mm. Although who knows, maybe in the background there's a piece of graffiti or something that has their name hidden on it. People always
Yeah,
add that
I'd
sort of
have to read it again. I don't remember. I just
Yeah, it
finished
was
reading it.
yeah, now I recall it was Gerry Conway and Al Milgrom did the miniseries.
Okay, yeah. So Chetan on the last page,
Yeah,
it does say Firestorm created by Gerry Conway and Al Milgrom. So they do
that's
mention
okay.
he does get a credit. They get credits at the end of the book.
Oh,
But it's
that's
worth a read if you guys are interested.
okay. Okay.
I
I'll
like
add it
it.
to my list.
Yeah.
Okay, so any final words on Jerry Conway's
I got an idea. Your
Oh,
favorite
go.
Gerry Conway character first.
Sorry, name it Gerry Conway.
Your favorite character.
Oh, my favorite character. Oh, for me, it would. It's gonna probably be Punisher for me.
And I
I
hate
love
to
that
say it,
book.
Chris, forget the storytelling, but Firestorm. Just the
That's
costume and the character is an amazing character. But as we stated earlier, the storytelling could have been better on that book. But
Yeah.
what about you?
I'm gonna actually go with Man Thing.
Man Thing.
Okay.
You'd go
Oh,
Man Thing,
wow.
really? Okay.
there's been some interesting stories, and they're a little weird, but they're interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll refrain from saying Power Girl.
Did he create
Oh,
Power Girl?
that's right. He did Power Girl. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right. Good call.
oh,
Yep.
okay.
I remember that. Yeah, good call. And I was reading that too just recently, like that he created Power
Okay.
Girl.
Okay, well, that's a great way to end the episode.
I think so.